Ed91 here. This is just a video to show you guys some of my CD collection. Just because I wasn't really sure what to what to do my next video of, so I thought I'd just show you guys some of these. Of course, if I was to show you them all, I think I'd have to make about 5 or 6 videos, 15 minutes long each. So, okay, let's go. First one is some ambient black metal. One of my favourite black metal artists is Burzum, and this is his first album with the bonus Ask EP. Yeah, so this is basically ambient black metal. I think Burzum was the first, well, Vard and Burzum was the first to do ambient black metal. I just love all of Burzum's stuff, even the stuff he did in jail, which has got like no guitars or anything. It's all like synthesizers and things, which is still awesome. But yeah, I'd really like this album. I think War is probably one of his most famous tracks, not just from this album, but in Burzum in a whole. So yeah, this album, great album. Next one is some brutal death metal. I think I heard of these guys through Infidel Amsterdam. Yeah, I did. Called Disentombed. And I really like this album. It sounds really morphed together. Like there's no, like, you know, when you hear some albums and there's loads of like space between the music, you know, you can just hear so much emptiness. There's nothing in this. The whole thing is just full of noise. It's really, really good album. I love it. It's just one of those albums that you need to put on, you know, when you've had a shit day at work or something and you're pissed off. Next album is some death black metal. Behemoth, Evangelion, if I can say it properly. I saw Behemoth in 2009, but they were supporting like a load of deathcore bands, which I liked at the time. I think it was like, well, Devil Driver, they were the main band, but they're not deathcore. They're just like normal Lamb of God type metal. I think it was, yeah, Suicide Silence as well, which I don't like anymore. Trigger the Bloodshed, which are more death metal. And what was the other one? I can't remember the other one. Oh yeah, and it was a support band called Malefice. Who were pretty good. I actually bought their CD a while after, but I really like that album. Pretty straightforward album. It's one of my favourites. Although Infidel Amsterdam did a video on this band ages ago, I heard of these through one of my mates, kind of before I started watching Infidel Amsterdam's videos. So when I saw that he did a video on one of these, I was like, on this band, I was like, ooh, thanks. Kadik Aghadan, Death Came Through a Phantom Ship. Absolutely love this album. I just love how the CD is, instead of original, it's like about stories. It's not just like, you know, talking about just brutal things. It's stories that you follow. You can just put the album on, listen to it all the way through, for all the stories link up. In fact, the title song that I had on in the beginning, that's from my favourite track, on the Consequence Macabre, and that's one of my favourite parts as well from it. I think it's where this guy's on a ship, and as they see like a ghost ship, and it curses them. So when he goes home, he goes to bed and he wakes up and there's like someone attacking him, like a captain or something, just like trying to strangle him in his sleep, and then he ends up stabbing him in the face and then killing his daughter and stuff because he sees her as a wolf or something, you know, and then he wakes up and sees that he's killed his whole family and then shoots himself. So yeah, it's not very pleasant. If you're a normal person who listens to like Lady Gaga and stuff, it's not your type of music, and people probably think that, that's probably why people think that we metalheads are like mental or deranged or something, because we're listening to like lyrics and stuff like that. Okay, next one is Banishment, which I have the t-shirt of. One of my favourite brutal death metal albums and bands. It's called Cleansing of the Infram. And I'll take it out of the slot. That's the... I really like their logo. It's a fucking epic logo. Yeah, this album's pretty good. I really enjoy it. The only thing that I would say about it is that I think the guitars could have been a bit, louder and a bit more taking up more room in the whole sound, because the guitars sound quite softish. Well, not softish, but to the sound, they're not very as well produced, as like, let's say the Disentombed album or the Behemoth album. But every album's different, so you can't really complain about that type of thing. Which I'm not. I'm just saying, that's kind of one of the differences really on that album. Ooh, another brutal death metal album, Inherit Disease. I really like these guys as well. I think I ordered a shirt from them, but I think it was a pre-order shirt, so I've not got it yet. But yeah, I really like this album. I really like the sound of the snare on this album in particular. It sounds very, it's quite, like, not a very strong snare sound. It's very loud, but it sounds like, I don't know what you call it, because I'm not a drummer. My cousin's a drummer. It's one of those ones where it's really loud and it takes up most of the sound of the album. But I love how the drummer as well, he does a mixture of gravity blast beats and the really fast double bass and a bit of everything really. He keeps constantly changing, like in Dream Theater. Of course these aren't like Dream Theater, but you know what I mean. They keep changing all the time, which is awesome because sometimes, if you're listening to like the same riff for like 5 minutes, it just gets kind of a bit boring really. Okay, next one is some more Burzum, ambient black metal. This is probably my favourite Burzum album. It's called Hivas Lysa Tar Os. I absolutely love the artwork on this album. It's just some dead guys in a forest, dark forest, some crows, which fits in with the music really well. It's not one of the albums though that you would listen to, if you really wanted to start moshing or you wanted to put on like, a metal party. I mostly listen to Burzum stuff at night. Sound a bit of a vampire there, but just because it really fits in with the music. I think the whole idea is to get the atmosphere and the feeling from the Burzum albums. But I mean, I even listen to Burzum when I'm going to bed and going to sleep, like Tom Het, the last track on this album. It's absolutely love it. It just sends me to sleep. There's no vocals in that at all. It's just nice, soft, ambient music, and it kind of takes you away as well. It sounds almost just like it's lifting you up and taking you somewhere. Okay, some power metal now. Some Blind Guardian. And it's called Nightfall in Middle Earth, and if you're as big as me, or if you've seen Lord of the Rings, which you probably have, Middle Earth is from Lord of the Rings, but this album is based on, I think, J.R. Tolkien Dines, I can never say his name properly, book before Lord of the Rings. I think it's called like the Salonist or Salkinist or something like that. But yeah, I think they've done a couple of albums actually, Blind Guardian on Lord of the Rings type stuff. But I absolutely love the artwork as well. Oh, I love it, it's great. And the music as well in this is fantastic. It's been remastered, as you can see there. Remastered. The production is amazing. It's just one of those albums that you'll listen to if you're, well, I do anyway, if I'm in like a really good mood. It's Nightfall is my favourite track. It's just absolutely amazing. It's just, it puts you in such a really good mood. And I think the bonus track, Harvest of Sorrow, is absolutely gorgeous track. It's beautiful. Okay, next album is Maiden, finally. And this is the Final Frontier, the latest album, which I think a lot of people didn't really like. I don't care. It's definitely a really good Maiden album. It's definitely a lot better than A Matter of Life and Death. That's when I saw them in 2006 when they released A Matter of Life and Death, and they played the whole album. Yeah, they played the whole Matter of Life and Death album. Then they came out and played a couple of classics, which is fine. It was my first time seeing Maiden, but it was amazing. And then the second time I've seen them was this year, thanks to my papa. Thank you, Papa, for buying me the tickets, and it was a fantastic show. They definitely mixed up a bit more now. It was more a mix of new songs from this album and some more Dance to Death songs and Brave New World songs, and some of the classics as well, and I absolutely loved it because I love Dance to Death album. It's one of my favourites, and when he played like this song Dance to Death and Rainmaker, oh, it's amazing. And of course I went to go meet Nicko McBrain at his drum convention, and show you a quick picture. Okay, next album is some more black metal, and it's Dark Throne, Blazing in the North Sky. Really like this album. It's Dark Throne's first album doing black metal. I think their first album was death metal. I can't remember what it's called now. Soulside Journey or something like that. I do have that, but I think this album is more death metal riffs, but played in a black metal way, with some black metal drums, and they're trying to do, you know, the black metal vocals as well. It's not their best black metal album, definitely not, but it's still a good album. My favourite is probably Transylvanian Hunger. Absolutely love that album. But yeah, and I just love the whole, you know, Corpse Paint, especially the classic black metal bands. Okay, next one is another black metal album. Probably my ultimate favourite black metal album, Emperor and the Night Side Eclipse. This album just, if you want to get into black metal, or if you want to listen to what like the best black metal sounds like, you need to listen to this album. It's absolutely amazing. It's just, like I said, it's just the ultimate black metal album. It's just fantastic. It's the only album like this that Emperor did, and then they kind of went off and did their own kind of, their own sound, and they got a lot of hate from it. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, this isn't Emperor, you know, what happened to you guys?" And then I think Ishan just got like annoyed with it, and then just went off and did his own solo work, which is really good as well. Okay, next one is iKaos, the Human Repellent, some death metal. I heard of these guys through Infidel Amsterdam. I think the vocalist sounds a lot like Joffrey Cowboy Singer, in my opinion. Just the way that he does some of the growls and stuff. Although you may disagree, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I know a lot of people hate Joffrey Cowboy. I really like their death metal stuff, like Genesis and the other one, which I can't remember what it's called. I really like those albums. I listen to them quite a lot. But yeah, this is just a straightforward death metal album. Really good. The only thing I'd say about that is I wish the production, like with the other one, it would take up more of the space and the sound, because it just sounds like there's quite a big gap between the music.